Have you ever wondered if ancient prophecies could actually come true? What if a centuries-old prediction made by a saint could determine the fate of one of the most influential figures in the world today? In this video, we delve into the terrifying prophecy made by Saint Malachy about Pope Francis and explore the possibility that it could come true in 2024. Saint Malachy, an Irish saint from the 12th century, is said to have had visions of all future popes, culminating in a final pope who would lead during a time of great tribulation. According to his prophecy, Pope Francis could be that last pope, marking the end of an era for the Catholic Church and possibly the world. What does this mean for the future of the Church and for believers around the globe? The prophecy, which has both fascinated and alarmed people for centuries, suggests that during the reign of the final pope, known as Peter the Roman, there will be significant upheaval within the Church and the world. This has led to countless debates and discussions among theologians, historians, and believers. Could Pope Francis be this final pope, and are we approaching a turning point in history? Stay tuned as we unravel the mysteries behind Saint Malachy's chilling predictions. We'll dive into the origins of the prophecy, its historical context, and examine the signs that suggest it could come true. Could 2024 be the year that changes everything? Let's find out together. In this journey, we'll explore various interpretations of the prophecy, look at the current state of the Catholic Church, and assess whether there are any indications that align with Saint Malachy's foreboding vision. As we go through this analysis, we'll not only look at the prophecy itself, but also delve into the life of Saint Malachy to understand the man behind the vision. What inspired his predictions? How have they been interpreted over the centuries? And why do they continue to captivate the imaginations of so many? Prepare yourself for a deep dive into one of the most intriguing and unsettling prophecies in history. By the end of this video, you'll have a comprehensive understanding of Saint Malachy's prophecy about Pope Francis, and you'll be able to form your own opinion on whether this ancient prediction holds any weight in our modern world. Could 2024 be the year that Saint Malachy's terrifying prophecy comes true? Join us as we explore the evidence and unravel the enigma of this centuries-old prediction.
Jesus Christ is the reason and motivation for my life. Jesus is my Lord and my Savior.
To truly understand the gravity of Saint Malachy's prophecy concerning Pope Francis, we need to delve into the life of the man behind these predictions and the context in which they were made. Saint Malachy, born in 1094 in Armagh, Ireland, was a highly revered cleric known for his deep spirituality and dedication to the Catholic Church. His birth name was Mael Maedoc Ua Morgair, but he became widely known by his Latinized name, Malachy. From a young age, he exhibited a profound sense of religious duty, eventually leading him to become the Archbishop of Armagh. His tenure as Archbishop was marked by his fervent efforts to reform the Irish Church, aligning it more closely with Roman practices, which earned him a reputation for being a devout and uncompromising reformer. Malachy's life took a mystical turn when, during a visit to Rome in 1139, he is said to have experienced a series of visions. These visions reportedly outlined the future succession of popes, each identified by a brief Latin phrase. The prophecies consist of 112 short cryptic phrases, each describing a pope, beginning with Celestine II, elected in 1143, and culminating in the final pope, who Malachy referred to as Peter the Roman. The authenticity and origins of these prophecies have been subjects of debate for centuries. Some scholars argue that they were not written by Malachy at all, but rather, they were a later forgery, possibly from the 16th century. This theory is supported by the fact that the prophecies were first published in 1595 by Benedictine historian Arnold Wion in his book Lignum Vitae, long after Malachy's death. Critics point out that the descriptions of popes up until the 16th century are strikingly accurate, while those thereafter are more vague and open to interpretation, suggesting that the earlier prophecies could have been written with the benefit of hindsight. Despite these controversies, the prophecies have captured the imaginations of many. The most intriguing aspect is the prediction concerning the last pope, described in the prophecy as "In persecutione extrema sre, sedebit Petrus Romanus, qui pascet oves in multis tribulationibus, quibus transactis civitas septicolis diruetur, and judex tremidus judicabit populum suum, finis." Translated, this means, in the final persecution of the Holy Roman Church, there will sit Peter the Roman, who will feed his flock amid many tribulations, after which the city of 7 hills will be destroyed, and the dreadful judge will judge the people. The end. This final prophecy is particularly chilling and has been interpreted by some to signify a time of great turmoil and possibly the end of the Catholic Church as we know it. The term Peter the Roman has sparked much speculation, with some believing it to be a symbolic reference rather than a literal name. Given that Pope Francis's birth name is Jorge Mario Bergoglio, he does not directly fit the Peter the Roman moniker. Yet some argue that his actions and the unprecedented nature of his papacy might fulfill the prophecy in a more figurative sense. Malachy's influence extended beyond his prophecies. He was also known for performing miracles and his deep commitment to pastoral care. His canonization in 1190 by Pope Clement III was a testament to his enduring legacy in the Church. However, it is the prophecies that have ensured Malachy's name remains prominent in discussions about the future of the papacy. As we look closer at these prophecies, it is important to consider the historical and religious context in which they were received and recorded. The 12th century was a period of significant religious upheaval and reform within the Church. The Crusades were ongoing, and the power dynamics between the papacy and various European monarchies were constantly shifting. Within this turbulent environment, Malachy's visions may have been seen as a divine roadmap for the faithful, providing a semblance of order and divine foresight in uncertain times. The prophecy's journey from a private revelation to a widely known prediction is a tale in itself. It is believed that Malachy handed the manuscript containing the prophecies to Pope Innocent II, who was a contemporary and supporter of Malachy. The manuscript then supposedly remained hidden in the Vatican archives until its discovery and publication by Arnold Wion. The reasons for its long period of obscurity remain unclear, but its eventual emergence into public consciousness in the late 16th century coincided with a time of significant religious reformation and upheaval, making its predictions all the more poignant and timely. In the next section, we will examine the specific prophecy concerning Pope Francis, its possible interpretations, and what signs might indicate its impending fulfillment. Stay with us as we continue to uncover the layers of St. Malachy's prophetic legacy and what it could mean for the future. Now that we have an understanding of St. Malachy and the context of his prophecies, let's delve into the specific prophecy that has drawn so much attention to Pope Francis. According to St. Malachy's prophecies, each pope is described by a short, cryptic phrase in Latin. For Pope Francis, the prophecy is not explicitly about him, but is linked to the final pope described as Peter the Roman. This connection has led many to speculate about Pope Francis's role in these prophecies, and the possibility that he could be the last pope before significant tribulations occur. Pope Francis, born Jorge Mario Bergoglio, became the 266th pope of the Catholic Church on March 13, 2013. His papacy has been marked by numerous reforms and a focus on issues such as poverty, climate change, and interfaith dialogue. However, his papacy has also faced considerable challenges and controversies, making some believe that his tenure aligns with the foreboding nature of Malachy's final prophecy. The prophecy states, "In the final persecution of the Holy Roman Church, there will sit Peter the Roman, who will feed his flock amid many tribulations, after which the city of 7 hills will be destroyed, and the dreadful judge will judge the people." The end. This chilling prediction suggests a time of great turmoil within the Church and the world, culminating in a final judgment. Interpreting this prophecy in relation to Pope Francis involves a mix of symbolic and literal analysis. While Pope Francis does not bear the name Peter, some argue that his role and actions could metaphorically represent Peter the Roman. As the first pope from the Americas and a Jesuit, his papacy has broken numerous precedents, leading to speculation that he could be the pope leading the Church through unprecedented times. Furthermore, Pope Francis chose his papal name in honor of Saint Francis of Assisi, who was known for his humility and dedication to the poor. This choice reflects Francis's mission to reform the Church and focus on marginalized communities, which some see as aligning with the prophecy's depiction of a pope who feeds his flock amid many tribulations. The reference to the City of 7 Hills is widely interpreted as Rome, the traditional heart of the Catholic Church. The destruction of Rome and the final judgment are apocalyptic images that have fueled discussions about the end times. While these interpretations can seem extreme, they highlight the deep anxieties and uncertainties faced by the Church in contemporary times. Critics of the prophecy argue that such interpretations are overly speculative and not supported by concrete evidence. They suggest that the vague and cryptic nature of the prophecies allows for multiple interpretations, making it easy to fit them to various scenarios. Additionally, the historical accuracy of St. Malachy's prophecies has been questioned, with some scholars believing they were crafted in hindsight to match past events. Despite these criticisms, the prophecy continues to captivate the imagination of many. The parallels drawn between Pope Francis's papacy and the descriptions in the prophecy have led to a surge in interest and speculation, particularly as global events seem to align with the tumultuous times described. The idea that Pope Francis could be the last pope before a period of great tribulation has profound implications for the Catholic Church and its followers. If the prophecy were to come true, it would signify a monumental shift in the religious landscape, potentially leading to a reformation or transformation of the Church as we know it. As we continue to explore this prophecy, it is important to consider both the historical context and the current state of the Catholic Church. Pope Francis's efforts to address modern issues and his progressive stance on various matters have made him a polarizing figure. This polarization, coupled with the numerous crises facing the Church, adds to the sense of urgency and intrigue surrounding the prophecy. In the next section, we will analyze the validity of St. Malachy's prophecies, examining both supportive arguments and skeptical viewpoints. We will look at the historical accuracy of the prophecies and consider whether they hold any real predictive power. Stay with us as we continue to unravel the mysteries behind St. Malachy's terrifying prophecy and what it could mean for the future of Pope Francis and the Catholic Church. To assess the validity of St. Malachy's prophecy, we need to delve deeper into both historical records and contemporary scholarly analysis. This section will explore various perspectives, including those of believers who see the prophecy as divinely inspired and skeptics who view it as a historical curiosity or even a clever forgery. Firstly, let's consider the historical accuracy of St. Malachy's prophecies. Supporters of the prophecy point to the detailed descriptions of popes from Celestine II, 1143, to those of the 16th century, which appear to align remarkably well with historical events and characteristics. For instance, Pope John Paul II is referred to as de labore solis, translated as from the labor of the sun. Some interpret this as a reference to his birth during a solar eclipse and his extensive travels, akin to the movement of the sun across the sky. However, the accuracy of these descriptions becomes less clear after the 16th century. This discrepancy has led many scholars to speculate that the prophecies were written retrospectively, using historical knowledge to craft precise descriptions for the earlier popes, while leaving the later ones vague enough to fit multiple interpretations. This theory gained traction after the prophecies were published by Arnold Wyon in 1595, over 4 centuries after St. Malachy's death. In support of this skeptical view, some researchers have pointed out that the prophecies were likely influenced by the political and religious climate of the 16th century. This period was marked by significant upheaval, including the Protestant Reformation and the Counter-Reformation, which may have motivated the creation of such a document to serve as propaganda or to legitimize certain papal candidates. Another critical point is the lack of contemporary references to the prophecies before their 1595 publication. If the prophecies were genuinely written by St. Malachy in the 12th century, one would expect some mention or documentation of them prior to their sudden appearance in the late 16th century. This absence of early references adds weight to the argument that the prophecies were a later invention. On the other hand, proponents of the prophecy's authenticity argue that its accuracy regarding many of the popes, including those described after the 16th century, cannot be easily dismissed. They point to descriptions that seem to match the characteristics or significant events of specific papacies. For example, Pope Benedict XVI, described as Gloria Olivae, or Glory of the Olive, was associated with the Benedictine order, which has an olive branch as a symbol. Additionally, his choice of the name Benedict, after the founder of the Benedictine order, aligns with this prophetic phrase. Moreover, some believers argue that the prophecies were divinely inspired, and their seemingly cryptic nature is a result of this divine origin. They suggest that interpreting these prophecies requires faith and an understanding that goes beyond mere historical analysis. For these believers, the prophecies serve as a spiritual guide, providing insight into the divine plan for the Church and its leaders. When evaluating the prophecy concerning Pope Francis, it's important to consider both the symbolic and literal aspects. The description of the final pope as Peter the Roman does not seem to fit Pope Francis directly. However, his unprecedented papacy, marked by significant reforms and a focus on global issues, could be seen as fulfilling the prophecy in a more figurative sense. The turbulence within the Church, including scandals and doctrinal disputes, adds to the perception that his papacy aligns with a time of great tribulation. Additionally, the broader context of global instability, environmental crises, and social upheaval during Pope Francis's tenure can be seen as aligning with the prophecy's depiction of widespread tribulations. This interpretation, while speculative, resonates with those who see the prophecy as a forewarning of challenging times for both the Church and the world. Critics, however, caution against reading too much into these interpretations. They argue that the prophecy's vague and symbolic language makes it easy to apply to various situations, creating a self-fulfilling prophecy effect. In other words, people interpret current events through the lens of the prophecy, seeing connections where none may exist. Despite the skepticism, the prophecy's enduring appeal lies in its mysterious and ominous nature. It taps into a deep-seated human fascination with predictions and the unknown. The idea that a medieval saint could foresee the future of the papacy and the Church is compelling, even if it remains unproven. The ongoing clerical abuse scandals have been a major point of contention and a source of tribulation for the Church. Despite efforts to address and prevent such abuses, the scandals continue to surface, causing widespread disillusionment among the faithful. The handling of these crises, along with calls for greater accountability and transparency, has created a turbulent atmosphere within the Church. This turmoil could be seen as aligning with the prophecy's description of a final pope who will lead amid great tribulations. In addition to internal Church issues, Pope Francis has also been vocal on global matters. His encyclicals, such as Laudato Si, on environmental issues, and Fratelli Tutti on fraternity and social friendship, have positioned him as a moral leader on pressing global concerns. His stance on climate change, migration, and economic inequality reflects a broader vision that extends beyond traditional religious boundaries. These global engagements resonate with the idea of a pope who feeds his flock amid many tribulations, addressing not only spiritual but also temporal crises. The COVID-19 pandemic has further highlighted Pope Francis's role as a leader during times of significant global distress. His calls for solidarity, compassion, and equitable vaccine distribution have underscored his commitment to addressing global challenges. The pandemic, with its far-reaching impacts on health, economies, and societies, can be seen as a period of tribulation that fits within the prophetic framework. Another important aspect to consider is the increasing polarization within the Catholic Church. Debates over issues such as same-sex marriage, the role of women in the Church, and the approach to non-Catholics have intensified under Pope Francis's leadership. His more progressive stances have been met with resistance from traditionalists, leading to a fractious environment that some believe could be indicative of the prophetic final pope's era. The geopolitical landscape also adds a layer of complexity to this discussion. Rising tensions between nations, the threat of conflicts, and the challenges posed by authoritarian regimes contribute to a sense of instability and uncertainty. In this context, the Catholic Church's role as a moral and stabilizing force becomes even more critical, and Pope Francis's efforts to promote peace and dialogue are significant. Looking specifically at the year 2024, several upcoming events could be viewed through the lens of St. Malachy's prophecy. For instance, the Church's ongoing Synod on Synodality, which seeks to address how the Church can better listen to and include its members, will culminate in significant decisions that could shape its future direction. This synod, with its emphasis on reform and inclusivity, aligns with Pope Francis's vision and could be a pivotal moment in his papacy. Additionally, the global socio-political climate is expected to continue facing challenges such as climate change, economic disparities, and social unrest. These issues, coupled with potential natural disasters and geopolitical shifts, create a backdrop of tribulation that aligns with the prophecy's foreboding tone. As we examine these signs and events, it is crucial to remember that prophecies often leave room for interpretation. The vague and symbolic nature of St. Malachy's predictions means that they can be read in various ways, leading to different conclusions about their relevance and accuracy. However, the convergence of these significant issues during Pope Francis's papacy provides a compelling narrative that resonates with those who believe in the prophecy. Critics argue that such interpretations are speculative and rely on a selective reading of events. They caution against drawing definitive conclusions from prophecies, which are inherently ambiguous and open to multiple interpretations. Instead, they suggest focusing on the concrete actions and impacts of Pope Francis's leadership, rather than seeking to fit his papacy into a predetermined prophetic framework. In conclusion, the signs and events leading to 2024 present a complex and multifaceted picture. Whether viewed as fulfillment of St. Malachy's prophecy or as part of the natural ebb and flow of history, these developments highlight the significant challenges and opportunities facing the Catholic Church and the world. Pope Francis's leadership during this period of tribulation will undoubtedly leave a lasting impact, regardless of whether it aligns with ancient prophecies. In the next section, we will discuss the potential implications of the prophecy coming true. We will explore what it could mean for the future of the Catholic Church, its followers, and the broader global community. Stay with us as we continue to unravel the mysteries of St. Malachy's prophecy and its potential consequences. In addition to understanding St. Malachy's prophecies, it's essential to compare them with biblical prophecies to fully grasp their potential impact on the Christian Church. This comparison can provide deeper insights into how these predictions might shape the faith and beliefs of Christians worldwide. The Bible contains numerous prophecies, particularly in the books of Daniel and Revelation, that have fascinated and inspired believers for centuries. These biblical prophecies often describe visions of end times, marked by significant tribulations, the rise of the Antichrist, and the ultimate triumph of good over evil. Comparing these prophecies with St. Malachy's predictions reveals both similarities and differences that are worth exploring. One of the most well-known biblical prophecies is found in the book of Revelation, where John describes a vision of the end times. This vision includes the rise of a beast, the mark of the beast, the fall of Babylon, and the final battle between good and evil at Armageddon. The imagery in Revelation is vivid and symbolic, much like St. Malachy's cryptic phrases describing future popes. St. Malachy's prophecy about Peter the Roman and the tribulations that will follow can be seen as paralleling the trials described in Revelation. Both sets of prophecies predict a time of great suffering and upheaval, followed by a final judgment. This alignment has led some believers to see St. Malachy's predictions as a continuation or affirmation of biblical prophecies, suggesting that the end times described in Revelation are imminent. Another important biblical prophecy is found in the book of Daniel, where Daniel interprets the dream of King Nebuchadnezzar. This dream features a statue with a head of gold, chest of silver, belly of bronze, legs of iron, and feet of iron and clay, which is ultimately destroyed by a stone cut out by no human hand. This dream is often interpreted as representing a succession of empires, culminating in the establishment of God's eternal kingdom. Like St. Malachy's prophecy, Daniel's vision speaks to a divine plan unfolding through history, with a final, transformative event. Comparing St. Malachy's prophecies with these biblical visions, we see a shared theme of divine intervention and ultimate judgment. Both sets of prophecies highlight the idea that history is moving towards a climactic moment of reckoning, where the faithful will be tested and the righteous will be rewarded. This thematic resonance can strengthen the impact of St. Malachy's predictions on the Christian Church, as they seem to echo and reinforce the prophetic messages found in the Bible. However, there are also significant differences between St. Malachy's prophecies and those in the Bible. Biblical prophecies are rooted in ancient scripture, considered by Christians to be the divinely inspired Word of God. St. Malachy's prophecies, on the other hand, are extra-biblical and have a more ambiguous origin. This distinction can affect how seriously different groups within the Christian Church take these prophecies. Some Christians might view St. Malachy's predictions with skepticism, seeing them as apocryphal and not on par with the canonical texts of the Bible. Others, however, may find in them a compelling complement to biblical prophecies, especially if they perceive contemporary events as aligning with both sets of predictions. The potential impact of St. Malachy's prophecies on the Christian Church also involves how these prophecies are used within the community. For instance, some preachers and theologians might incorporate St. Malachy's predictions into their teachings, using them to underscore the urgency of spiritual preparedness and moral vigilance. This could lead to a heightened sense of anticipation and urgency among believers, encouraging them to strengthen their faith and commitment to the Church. Conversely, an overemphasis on these prophecies could also lead to fear and anxiety, particularly if believers interpret current events as signs of impending tribulation. This anxiety could create divisions within the Church, as different factions argue over the interpretation and significance of these prophecies. Ultimately, the comparison between biblical prophecies and St. Malachy's predictions serves to highlight the enduring human fascination with the future and the divine plan. Both sets of prophecies offer a framework for understanding the present in the context of a larger, cosmic narrative. They provide believers with a sense of direction and purpose, even in times of uncertainty and turmoil. In conclusion, St. Malachy's prophecies, when compared to biblical prophecies, offer a rich and complex tapestry of predictions that can deeply influence the Christian Church. While the authenticity and interpretation of these prophecies remain subjects of debate, their impact on the faith and imagination of believers is undeniable. As we continue to navigate the challenges of the modern world, these prophecies invite us to reflect on our faith, our future, and the ultimate destiny of the Church and humanity. If St. Malachy's prophecy about Pope Francis were to come true, the implications for the Catholic Church and the world would be profound and far-reaching. This section will explore what such a scenario could mean for the Church, its followers, and the global community. Firstly, the fulfillment of the prophecy would likely trigger a period of intense reflection and possibly panic within the Catholic Church. The idea that Pope Francis could be the final pope before a time of great tribulation would challenge the faith of many believers and could lead to a crisis of confidence in the Church's future. This crisis could manifest in various ways, from a decline in church attendance and participation to increased scrutiny of the Church's teachings and leadership. One immediate implication would be the need for the Church to address the fears and concerns of its followers. Clergy and lay leaders would need to provide reassurance and guidance, helping the faithful navigate the uncertainty and anxiety that such a prophecy would inevitably cause. This could involve reaffirming core doctrines, emphasizing the Church's resilience through history, and encouraging a focus on prayer and spiritual preparation. The prophecy's potential fulfillment could also lead to significant changes within the Church's hierarchy and governance. If Pope Francis were indeed the final pope predicted by St. Malachy, the Church might face unprecedented challenges in electing his successor. This process could be complicated by the heightened tensions and divisions within the Church, as different factions vie for influence and control. Additionally, the prophecy's apocalyptic undertones might inspire movements within the Church to prepare for what some believe could be the end times. This could result in a surge of eschatological interest and activity, with believers focusing on signs of the times and preparing for potential tribulations. Such movements could gain momentum, leading to a more pronounced emphasis on end-time teachings and practices. The broader global implications of the prophecy coming true are equally significant. As a major religious institution with over 1 billion adherents worldwide, the Catholic Church plays a crucial role in global affairs. A prophecy indicating the end of the papacy or significant tribulations for the Church could have ripple effects across religious, social, and political landscapes. One potential impact could be on interfaith relations. The Catholic Church's interactions with other religious traditions might be influenced by the perception of impending tribulations. This could either lead to greater solidarity and cooperation among different faiths in response to global challenges, or exacerbate tensions and divisions as each tradition grapples with its own interpretations and responses to the prophecy. In the geopolitical realm, the prophecy's fulfillment could influence the actions and policies of nations with significant Catholic populations. Political leaders might seek to address the concerns of their constituents, potentially incorporating religious considerations into their decisions. This could affect international relations, particularly in regions where the Catholic Church holds considerable sway. Economically, the prophecy could lead to shifts in markets and investments, particularly those influenced by religious and ethical considerations. The perception of impending tribulations might drive changes in consumer behavior, charitable giving, and the allocation of resources. Businesses and organizations associated with the Catholic Church could experience fluctuations in support and patronage based on how the prophecy is interpreted and perceived. On a societal level, the prophecy's potential fulfillment could inspire both fear and hope. For some, it might reinforce a sense of impending doom and prompt preparations for survival and resilience. For others, it could serve as a call to deepen their faith and commitment to spiritual and communal values. This dual response could shape cultural and social dynamics, influencing everything from family life and community structures to artistic and literary expressions. It is important to consider the role of media and communication in amplifying the impact of the prophecy. In an age of instant information and global connectivity, news of the prophecy's potential fulfillment could spread rapidly, influencing public opinion and behavior. Media coverage, social media discussions, and online forums would likely play a significant role in shaping how the prophecy is perceived and responded to by different groups. In conclusion, the implications of St. Malachy's prophecy coming true are vast and multifaceted. For the Catholic Church, it would mean grappling with a profound existential challenge, requiring strong leadership and a renewed focus on faith and resilience. For the broader world, it could trigger significant shifts in religious, social, political, and economic spheres, reflecting the far-reaching influence of the Church and its teachings. As we move towards 2024, it is essential to approach the prophecy with a balanced perspective, acknowledging its historical and symbolic significance while remaining mindful of the practical realities and challenges it presents. Whether viewed as a divine revelation or a historical curiosity, St. Malachy's prophecy about Pope Francis invites us to reflect on the deeper questions of faith, leadership, and the future of one of the world's most enduring religious institutions. In the next section, we will summarize the key points discussed and offer final thoughts on St. Malachy's prophecy and its potential impact. Stay with us as we conclude our exploration of this intriguing and unsettling prediction. As we come to the end of our exploration into St. Malachy's prophecy concerning Pope Francis, it's clear that this centuries-old prediction continues to captivate and provoke thought. Whether you view the prophecy as a divine message, a historical curiosity, or a medieval forgery, its impact on the imagination and faith of many is undeniable. Throughout this video, we've delved into the life and visions of St. Malachy, examined the specific prophecy related to Pope Francis, and analyzed the signs and events that some believe could indicate its fulfillment. We've also considered the profound implications that such a prophecy coming true would have for the Catholic Church and the broader global community. The idea that Pope Francis could be the last pope, leading the Church through a period of great tribulation, is both compelling and unsettling. His papacy, marked by significant reforms, a focus on social justice, and a commitment to addressing global issues, fits the image of a leader guiding his flock through turbulent times. The challenges faced by the Church today, from internal divisions to global crises, add a layer of urgency to these discussions. It's important to remember that prophecies, by their very nature, are open to interpretation. St. Malachy's predictions are no exception. Their vague and symbolic language allows for multiple readings, and each generation has found ways to apply them to their own time and context. Whether the prophecy will indeed come true in 2024 is something that remains to be seen. For believers, the prophecy serves as a reminder of the enduring nature of faith and the need for spiritual vigilance. It encourages reflection on the role of the Church and its leaders in navigating the challenges of the modern world. For skeptics, it highlights the fascinating ways in which history, religion, and human psychology intersect, creating narratives that resonate across centuries. As we look to the future, it is essential to approach these predictions with a balanced perspective. The Catholic Church has weathered many storms throughout its history, and its resilience is a testament to the strength of its faith and community. Regardless of whether St. Malachy's prophecy comes true, the Church will continue to play a vital role in the lives of millions, offering hope, guidance, and a sense of belonging. In closing, we encourage you to reflect on the themes discussed in this video and consider what they mean for you personally. Whether you are a devout believer, a curious skeptic, or somewhere in between, St. Malachy's prophecy invites us all to ponder the mysteries of faith, leadership, and the future. If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of history's most intriguing prophecies, please subscribe to our channel and like this video. Your support helps us bring you more content that explores the fascinating intersections of history, religion, and culture. Share your thoughts and theories in the comments below. Do you think St. Malachy's prophecy will come true? Let's continue the conversation and uncover more mysteries together. Thank you for watching, and we hope to see you in our next video.